It's been a few, seems like an eternity, but at least a few days since we've seen sunshine in Louisiana. So it's not sure. It's kind of odd for it to be this darn bright. So I'm driving again, and that begs the question, what do you do on your drives, your long drives, your short drives? Do you only listen to music? Do you sit in silence? Do you try to memorize things? Do you practice what you're going to say in meetings? What do you do on your drives? I have been driving and commuting for work. That's at least for the last 20 years. We've lived in the suburbs of some bigger cities. And even now, I still have 15 to 20 minute drive in the car. And my work requires me to drive a good bit. And I've listened to books through predominantly Audible. I've listened to books over the last 20 years. And whenever maybe I'm driving too much and I burn through some books, I've also had to renew my library card several times and check out online books or online audio books so that I can have something else to listen to, so that I'm not buying so many credits through Audible. And that membership, I've had the two credits a month, to one every month, one every 2 months. It just depended on how much driving I'm doing and how much listening I'm getting. There was a period of time where I was listening to books when I was lifting at the gym, but it's hard to get motivated and exercise and get hyped when you're listening to books. However, I also, every year, and we'll probably be discussing this in the future, is I very rarely make goals every year. I guess I'm going to provide you the cop-out answer, and that I'm trying to better myself every day. Therefore, I don't set goals. And that is a cop-out answer, but, and I look rather red in this light, we don't have Facetune on, that's for darn sure. Let's see if I can, oh, there we go, block the sun a little bit. So I do set one goal every year, and that's a book reading goal. When I say reading, that is in quotes, because I found, like, as of late, the last few years, it's hard for me to sit and read a book. So I listen to books constantly if I'm driving, and of course, driving without someone else in the car. So this year, I believe I set a goal. I could look, but I'm driving. I believe I set a goal of 30, and I did beat that goal this year. Last year, I had a much higher goal, and I can't remember what that was either. But once I got towards the last quarter of the year, I believed I wasn't going to make it. So I had to find some shorter books to listen to. And the reason we're discussing this is because I was listening at the gym, because I had a couple of books that were probably 52 to 55 hours of listening time. And that's a heck of a lot of driving. And so you got to squeeze that in when you can. So I was listening while I was lifting and on the treadmill. So I didn't like that. So I always have an eye on listening time on books, because I don't want to listen. I think I was listening to that book for 30 to 40 days with the time. So all that to say is I listen to books when I'm driving. I usually stay in the thrillers, mysteries, police procedurals. That's predominantly my book listening list. However, my sons both have enjoyed some fantasy, science fiction, more of that alternative storylines, and have referred several books to me. And so I have listened to some of those as well, even though they're not my favorite genre, but I do listen to those, and some of them have been very well written. I've enjoyed the listen. So maybe it is my genre. maybe people change. However, I've tried to stay clear of some of them because there's a few of those series that are the 50 to 60 hours of listening time, and I haven't been driving as much over the past year or two, so if I start one of those, it hurts my goals to accomplish that. So today's video is about book reading. What books do you enjoy? What genre do you enjoy? And do you set goals to read certain books? I know that there are some people who will only read nonfiction, or people that only want to read things that better themselves. But I do enjoy being entertained and being in that alternative timeline. So I do enjoy fiction. So I would say over the 20 years, I've probably listened to, I would safely say, at least 900 books. And I would go so far as to say that probably 95% of those were fiction, with the other 5 being nonfiction. So Chris Ray doesn't enjoy self-help, so or bettering himself. He wants to be taken away into a different storyline. What does that even mean? So anyway, today's video is about that. I'd like for you to comment and let me know what books you like to listen to. I did recently start messing around with TikTok. It's actually a pretty user-friendly social media app. And as I doom scroll through TikToks, I did come across one about 9 books that you must read. And I went through, and it was actually a pretty good list, and ones that I had not read yet. So I went through and I added those to my Audible wish list, as well as Goodreads. The Goodreads app is how I track everything that I read. And then, of course, it's all tracked in Audible, unless they're ones that I end up downloading from a library to listen to. So Goodreads is a better representation of the things I have read, that I'm currently reading, and what I would like to read. And so that's how I track my wish list. And so I put all those books on the wish list in both places, just in case I run out of credits. I've got it loaded into Goodreads, and I can search for it at the online library to save myself a buck. Did I say a bunk? Book? A buck. Save myself a buck while I still am entertained upon my drives. So weigh in on the comments. What do you like to listen to? Do you have a favorite book? I do have quite a few favorites, and maybe that'll be another discussion, maybe when I'm sitting still and I can have clever little graphics pop up to show the titles of those books. So weigh in, and once again, I thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe for all the updates. I'm trying to throw a few shorts in as well as things pop up, and sometimes those shorts fit in the TikTok world too, so I'm trying to throw some stuff in there too, and just goof off with all the social media. So hopefully you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.